For those of us of a certain age, the flirtation and apparently imminent marriage between the Padres and Manny Machado has been reminiscent of the classic 1987 movie Can't Buy Me Love, which, from the summers of 1988 through 1994, was the consensus pick to rent, when nobody could agree on which new release to try out at the video store. If you are not of a certain age, Can't Buy Me Love tells the tale of a geeky high schooler who gives a popular cheerleader $1,000 to act like his girlfriend for a month. They fall in love, but he ends up more popular than her until she spills the secret, at which point he becomes a geek again, at least until the very forced 1980s happy ending in which he tosses his cowboy hat into the air and rides off into the sunset with her on a lawnmower. Other than the image of Machado riding into his introductory press conference on a lawnmower, this all seems pretty familiar, doesn't it? For most of the last several weeks, it seemed as if the rumors connecting Machado to the Padres were of the mutually convenient variety. By making what appeared to be a long-shot pursuit for Machado, the Padres, going on 9 years removed from their most recent winning season, going on 13 years removed from their most recent win in the postseason, and going on 21 years removed from their most recent postseason series victory, could declare they were willing to go for it to their long-suffering from Machado. Cozying up to the Padres seemed to be a good way to nudge a larger market franchise, such as the White Sox, who acquired his brother-in-law Yonder Alonso earlier this winter, or the Yankees, whom Machado reportedly wanted to play for more than any other team, to finally offer him the $300 million he wanted. Except the only team willing to make that offer was baseball's version of Ronald Miller. And now, barring a last-second snag in the dotting of the I's and the crossing of the T's, Machado is going to San Diego for at least the next 5 years. His 10-year, $300 million deal has the ever-ubiquitous opt-out following the 2023 season. Alas, if history's any indication, the Padres-Machado relationship won't even last that long, and might not even last the baseball equivalent of a 90-minute movie. The Machado signing brings to mind other stunning moves by franchises that typically stayed out of the business of handing out record-setting contracts, and soon regretted getting into the business of handing out record-setting contracts. Mike Hampton signed an 8-year deal worth $121 million with the Rockies following the 2000 season, but only made it 2 years in Colorado's awesome school systems before being traded to the Braves. Alex Rodriguez signed a 10-year, $252 million deal with the Rangers prior to the 2001 season, but was traded to the Yankees after 3 seasons. Giancarlo Stanton signed a 13-year, $325 million deal with the Marlins following the 2014 season, but was dealt to the Czechs Notes Yankees after 3 years. It's always possible Machado and the Padres beat the odds. While the Padres have made unsuccessful splashes into the high-end free agent and trade market in the past, they've never done so with a team as loaded with young talent as this one. Each of the 12 players to collect at least 200 at-bats for the Padres last season was under 30 years old. More importantly, no farm system is harvesting fruit like the Padres, who have 9 of MLB.com's top 100 prospects, including 7 pitchers. Then again, all that young talent last year only netted the Padres 3 position players with a WAR of 2.0 or higher last season, including Freddie Galvis, who is now with the Blue Jays. And the rate of attrition with young pitchers suggests the Padres will be extremely fortunate if 2 turn into reliable mid-rotation starters. Only 16 pitchers aged 25 or younger threw as many as 150 innings last season, and only 3 teams had as many as 2 pitchers on the list: the Rockies, White Sox and Phillies. There's also the very real possibility Machado, who can charitably be called a high-maintenance personality, wears the Padres out as quickly as Rodriguez wore out the Rangers in the opening years of the century. The Padres, who finished 25.5 games out of first place in the NL West last year and returned 2 pitchers who made more than 20 starts, are at least 1 year and probably 2 years away from seriously contending. How will constant losing impact Machado? In addition, there's more than a little of ex-Rangers manager Buck Showalter and Padres skipper Andy Green, whose intensity late last season led to cornerstone outfielder Will Myers complaining about Green during a fortnight stream with teammates. To be fair, Myers immediately apologized. How is Green, who played 140 games as a big leaguer on sheer grit and determination, going to respond the first or 100th time Machado loafs it to first base, or the next time he steps on the ankle of an opposing first baseman at the bag. Almost as importantly, how is Padres owner Ron Fowler going to respond when the Machado-led team struggles and/or Machado starts acting out? Fowler is barely 2.5 years removed from going scorched earth on players such as Matt Kemp, James Shields and Justin Upton, all of whom were acquired and then discarded during the Padres' most recent attempt at "We made a conscious decision to ship them out because we want people that are prepared to improve," Fowler told Padres season ticket holders in August 2016. "If you are making a lot of money and you think you're already there, you're not going to get better." Fowler was arguably even madder 2 months earlier when he called the last-place Padres miserable failures and said Shields embarrassed himself and the team by giving up 10 runs against the Mariners. "It's about as frustrating as it can get," Fowler told a San Diego radio station. "In a normal environment, if you had performed as well as we have over the last 3 years, you'd probably be unemployed. But it's baseball, with guaranteed contracts. We've got to get through it. 10 years and $300 million is an awful lot to have to get through." Fortunately for Fowler and Machado, history suggests they'll figure out pretty quickly money can't buy them love, but it sure can hasten a divorce.